ATH-R70X, HG600, and my 82,000Xs. Now, everyone has told me that these, oh, you're going to love these because of these. You're going to love these because of these. And I didn't know why, and I imagine it would be because they are a complete opposite of these. But not in a bad way. All right, let's not start this off with what you think I'm giving a bad review. That only comes once in a while. These, first of all, I was unexpecting of the size change, because these are still like $340 and these are $500, but the entire Air series is this size. So there's quite a big difference there, which I wasn't expecting. But signature-wise, let's get right into sound. I'll get to build in a bit, because there's some things I really like about this versus like this design. Signature-wise, these are not those. These have no bass, and the treble reaches up until you just about can't take it, and then it stops, and it sounds amazing. Where this, when I first put them on, the first thing I said is, oh, this is Audio-Technica trying to compete with the 600s. So the last few days I've been just doing back and forth, R70, 600. 600, R70, R76, 600, 70, R7, 600. And so I've finally been able to nitpick out what isn't the same about these two. So forget those. These are a different type / class of headphone. And let's worry about these two, because this is definitely trying to be this. The question is it doing it better than that? It's better than doing it. So, you take them out. I didn't have the box. The guy didn't ship the box because apparently it's fucking massive, which I believe, because this was a massive box and I wouldn't want to ship that either. But you look at them and it's like, oh, it's like a baby version of their 80 line. It's got the same flappers, although mine have these have an open and these are a full pad. But, you know, it's the same. It's roughly the same thing. And some people like these wings and some people absolutely hate them. You won't know until you try. Taiwan, they say Taiwan on them, where those say Japan on them, and these say Ireland on them. But you know what? Go to Google Street View of Taiwan. It's a place you want to visit. It's so rural and amazing. So, this headband piece here, this, way better than these. I like these, but, you know, look at the size difference just from not putting that stupid setup there. The pads are obviously much smaller, much deeper than the ones that came on my 2000X. These are actually changed out from eBay. My cat wants to be in the review. These are changed out from eBay. These were like $20 for these pads, and they do improve the comfort severely on the 2000Xs or 1000Xs or 900Xs or 700Xs or 500Xs. So if you want, I'll link to those in the description. But this is a completely separate review where I'm even talking about those. So the pads are smaller, but deeper. And the comfort is real close to good. I mean, humans don't have round ears. I think we've all determined this. Some people do. Some people have really tiny ears, and it doesn't matter. I don't. So these are pretty much, these want to be on ear for me. And I haven't tried changing the pads out because they're so close to just being fine. They're so close to just being fine that, stay. I'm not going to bother. I may, after this review, give them a test. I've got a selection of pads hanging around. And if I can get these just so they're not touching my ear top and bottom, it might change things a bit. Detachable wires. Let's talk detachable wires. These, fuck you, they don't give you detachable wires. You're only paying $500 a headphone for a set of headphones. Why would they do that? The 600s have a detachable wire. It's a stupid detachable wire because it's got the proprietary two-prong system. And this is a stupid detachable wire because it's got a screw-locking proprietary 2.5mm. Again, look at the depth of that. So, I don't know if you could make these. I don't know if Best in the Verse is going to be able to pull this off to give you wires. Because it is a long, you know, heavy studio grade double wire. Very reminiscent of the wire that came with the 600s. Actually, it's more reminiscent of the wire that came with the 650s. It's a little thicker. But yeah, this is one of those stupid proprietary things that doesn't need to be. This is a decision by Audio-Technica to say, we could make this just a 3.5mm stereo. Because here's how this works, this system, because I'll pull them out. There's no left and right indicators anywhere on the wire. And I've had this on one headphone in the past that I don't remember which one it was. Wait, I'm starting to have a flashback. Was it the Sound Magic? No, Sound Magic was single. I don't know. All right, way long ago when I first moved to this apartment. Where it's just stereo connectors on either side, and no matter which way you plug them into the headphone, it uses the ground and the tip on one side and the ground and the ring on the other side, so it's automatically going to be right no matter what you do. And that confuses the hell out of people if they don't know that, because they're like analyzing every inch of the wire to see if there's a red or blue or maybe there's an L just stamped something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which direction you plug these in, it's going to work fine. You know, the headphones themselves are labeled right and left, but you'd never look for those because you're just going to look for the fat part of the pad. See, thin, fat. So they didn't have to do this. They didn't have to. It bothers me when companies do things that they don't have to do. It's like, you know, I mean, there isn't some sort of weird metaphysical reason to have this plunge so fucking deep up into the headphone. I mean, I can see the entire shaft of this continues and there's a ring around the driver, but that's no necessito. That is a no necessito. You're just doing things to be proprietary stupid shit. So they don't get any points for that, although luckily there are detachable cables. Unlike these, which everyone's like, oh, just make them detachable. And it's like a $550 pair of headphones. I don't really feel like ripping them apart and soldering inside of them. If they don't deliver them to me, you know, the way that I want it, at some point I'll change it. But at some point I'm just like, no, I don't want to get in here. It's very, very, very delicate Japanese movements and shit. So, we're off a build now. I like them. They actually have a lot of clamp compared to that. So again, a lot of clamp, like the 600. So let's pull the 600s out, and now we'll discuss the similarities. A lot of similarities. By the way, don't put these on a paradox, because all that does is that, and it really stretches those out, and you do not want that to happen. I recommend the Yoga Block, the greatest headphone stand thing ever. Links in the description. So, like I said, put these on. These are definitely competing with these. And how do I know that? Well, the sound signature of these is very neutral and very narrow. That's what makes them them. That's what they are. That's what you judge all other headphones against. Watch my review, I say that. So, I did. And after 2 days of just music, swap, O2, different amps, different DACs. Here's the O2 ODAC combo from Master. Just after all that, what I've determined is, and this is going to sound weird, but these actually have more soundstage than these, which is like, these have almost no soundstage, but these are somehow narrower sounding, maybe a little bit more behind. Somehow sound goes behind you a little bit more, but these have, and this is something no one's ever said, less harsh highs than the 600s. And the 600s don't have harsh highs. They don't. But when I'm going back and forth between these two, these have gentler highs. I guess would be the gentleness would be there. Like I put on Prodigy's Nasty. All right? Not exactly an audiophile test song, but a song that I heard a very big difference in. So that's all that really I'm looking for in that. And the bass is better, and the highs are slightly less. And the soundstage is slightly narrower. So these have less bass, more highs, minutely wider sound. Like, there was a sound happening in a song that I played it back like 20 fucking times, and it was like someone tapping on something like far away, and you could hear it. In this was just like it's happening here, and in this it was happening right there. It wasn't separating the sounds as much as the 600s do. Now, does that mean that, okay, these just throw these away and forget them, just get these? Hell no. These are too good. I was preferring these in a lot of my music to the 600s. So, absorb that for a second. Breathe it in. Breathe. And the fact that they have more low end makes them a little more acceptable to a lot of people who have never... If you go from consumer grade low end stuff that has, you know, tremendous bass and killer high, and you go to 600s, it could be sort of a shock. It's a good shock, but I think these would be a little less, not different. They're both, these are literally, I have the tabs up. They're like the same price. No, it's not it. No, that's the 70Xs. Those might come at some point. $344 for these, and at the time of this recording, $320 for these. So they're within $20 of each other, which is pretty much the same price. Now, does that mean you should pick one up over the other for any particular reason? See, that's why I'm here, because I could just review these alone and never have brought any of this stuff onto the table. But you're just going to ask the questions. So, who buys these? If you already have 600s, is it worth buying these? No. If you have 2000Xs, is it worth buying these? Yes. See, that's where it comes in. They're different enough from these, where these are just bass light, crazy accurate highs. Like, I still recommend the AD series for gaming. These, I wouldn't for gaming. I wouldn't. I haven't played like much. I've been mostly doing music on these, but I'm imagining with the way I've heard things, they're not going to really they're not going to give you the undescribable rub your fingers together in games. Neither do these. So this whole little section of elite Haxer headphones that are the greatest things ever that don't play well in games. Yeah. I could, if you gave me these on a Tuesday and these on a Wednesday and said, what's the difference? I probably couldn't have told you. Only by sitting here and just hammering through my playlist back and forth that was I able to figure out what the differences were. Like on small little sounds, like one sound occurrence in a song, and I'm backing it up and just playing it over, was I able to tell the difference. Comfort, these still win, because human ears are oval and not round. Should you change the pads out on these, and I haven't received my velour brainwaves pads yet, or I would. You could probably win with these if they have better pads, just because of how they're so light. They're so light. But yeah, so they're excellent headphones. Are they as excellent as the HG600s? Yes. That's pretty much the highest praise you can give to a headphone. Do the cable connectors suck? Well, yeah, but, you know, what the fuck is that, Sennheiser? If I ever designed headphones, they'd have the worst connector ever. Like it would be from a 1984 Dodge Intrepid minivan. It would be, you could get them and they'd be like massive and slam on the back and have to screw them down. Just because that would make them the best headphones. Apparently. Fucking Audis. Mini XLRs and shit. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Other than yoga blocks. Now, I didn't notice on this the same problems I had with these, where you open them and they don't quite, see how they don't straighten to your head, it's massively fat. And I've bent these very gently. These are a smaller headphone in general, so when you open them up, they're straight. So that's a good thing. Look at my $4 headphone stand. Those work fine on the Paradox. So yes, if you're going to come to, now here's what's going to happen right now. You ready? I'm going to predict the future. Scroll down. The first comment that's completely upvoted to like 70 things is going to be, well, which one? The 600s or the R70s? And it's just going to be me going, no. And that's it. You could upvote that too. So excellent headphones. Excellent headphones. They aimed for a god of headphones. And they got there and said, all right, we could do this a little different. And then they did. And it worked.